So the Tron USDD stablecoin depegged from $1 yesterday on Monday down to 98 cents, which is the farthest that has dropped so far at the time of this video. If you briefly just look at the price chart according to LiveCoin Watch, we can see it is currently right under $1, around 99 cents. Now you can see it had a nice significant drop there, as you can see. And then also, if you briefly look at TRX's chart, Tron, it had a nice drop as well, because Tron is also one of the main cryptos used to back and support the USDD stablecoin. And so we're going to be diving into the details on why this happened, as well as what is the Tron DAO Reserve doing to help support this situation that they're currently facing, because this is something you want to keep in mind. And I'm going to be touching on, what I think as well after we dive into the details. But before we do, shout out to the partner and the sponsor of today's video, which is iTrust Capital. Now with iTrust Capital, you're able to purchase most of the top cryptos in the space today, as well as precious metals such as gold and silver. And if you're unfamiliar with iTrust Capital, they are a company that offers crypto IRAs that allows us to buy and sell cryptocurrency and precious metals, as I showed you some of the options 24/7, 365. They also have top security for their custody and cold storage using Coinbase as well as Fireblocks. But now let's go ahead and dive into the details of why did the depeg happen and what is the Tron DAO Reserve doing to answer this particular situation right after this. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Mike the Investor, and yes, the markets have been rough. And so why did the USDD stablecoin depeg from $1 down to 98 cents Monday? Well, number one, we have a huge amount of shorters that is shorting TRX, and that is putting a lot of sell pressure on the Tron currency, which is one of the main cryptos that helps support the USDD stablecoin. Not to mention, you have the market within itself that just saw another significant drop in the market. We actually dropped under 1 trillion. Now it is a little bit higher than that now at the time of this video. However, these are two significant things, right? And so now the USDD stablecoin is now being attacked through shorters and people trying to, pretty much, sabotage the USDD stablecoin because they believe it's just another downfall as of UST. Now, one thing I will mention, as I mentioned in previous videos, as I was talking about the USDD stablecoin, is if this stablecoin market cap value and circulating supply can stay well under the Tron DAO Reserve and also the Tron cryptocurrency market cap value, they should be fine because they will have enough to always support it. And now it is more over collateralized even more, and we're going to be diving into the details of that right now. Now, if you look at the headline coming from the blockcrypto.com, it says Tron deploys $2 billion from reserves to guard against shorts. Now, before we go any further, I want to show you Justin Sun's tweet. You can see the funding rate of shorting TRX on Binance is negative 500% APR. At Tron DAO Reserve will deploy $2 billion USD to fight them. I don't think they can last for even 24 hours. Short squeeze is coming. And so he got a lot of, people talking about this as well, because this is a lot of some of the same similarities that took place with UST stablecoin. However, UST wasn't over collateralized, and also UST was significantly larger, than the USDD stablecoin, which makes it a little bit harder to control. And so if we head back over to the article here, we can see the short squeeze occurs when traders who are betting on a decline are forced to close their positions by buying back the underlying token. Now, Sun noted that the so-called funding rate for shorting TRX on Binance had hit 500%, which we just took a look at. Meanwhile, Tron stablecoin USDD was trading at 98 cents at its lowest point on Monday morning. Now, the token, which was the first near carbon copy of Terra's algorithmic stablecoin UST, arrived on the Tron blockchain on May 5th and is supposed to track the price of the US dollar. Now, the Tron DAO Reserve said on Saturday that it bought 50 million worth of Bitcoin and TRX. Now, the Tron DAO Reserve, comprised of cryptocurrencies and other stablecoins, would amaze to over-collateralize USDD and was guaranteed to be maintained at a minimum of 130% of the total amount of USDD in issuance. Now let's head over to a few tweets here. If you look here, getting the job done, it says Blockworks 700 million USDC has been injected into the Tron DAO Reserve to defend the USDD peg. So they are injecting liquidity, to get that peg back completely stable. If you look here, Tron DAO Reserve 100 million more USDC to Binance to purchase more TRX. You have to safeguard the overall blockchain industry and crypto market. Tron DAO Reserve have increased 650 million USDC supply on the Tron blockchain. Currently, USDC supply on Tron has reached 2.5 billion. So you can see that they are implementing more liquidity to back up this stablecoin and completely over collateralizing the USDD, right? And so we're gonna see, does this completely work? Will this be able to sustain everything that happens? Because in my opinion, I do think we still got some rough times ahead, and with those market uncertainties is going to cause more panic selling in the market. Now, the last thing I briefly want to show you is the Tron DAO website, and as we can see here, the total USDD supply according to the Tron DAO Reserve is 723,321,764 Now you can see the total collateral is a little over 2 million, and these are the main assets here that is backing this USDD stablecoin. You got 700 million in USDC, another 140 million in USDT Tether, so that's 840 million right there in stablecoins, and then you got over 14,000 Bitcoin and over 10 billion when it comes to TRX. And so they're showing you, they're saying they're showing full transparency to you guys to let you know what they are using to back this stablecoin in real time. Now, I want to know what you guys think. In my opinion, I think to keep this stablecoin successful, it's definitely going to have to stay out of those billions and billions of dollars until the Tron DAO Reserve can fully support that, because when you start getting into that billions and billions of dollars of market cap, now you're dealing with huge whales who have a lot of money who can strategically plan a attack. With it being under 750 million, under 800 million, even just under that billion, and with the Tron DAO Reserve being more than what that USDD market cap actually is as far as the circulation, it makes it easier to control in-house instead of having all of these outside attacks, because you're going to have that regardless, as we are seeing right now. But when you start getting into more money, it's going to create more problems. And so as I mentioned from the beginning, when I started talking about USDD, I think for this thing to be successful, it has to stay low enough for the Tron DAO Reserve to, control it, and also it has to stay low enough under TRX's, overall market cap as well. And so with the DPEG happening, with them injecting more money into the Tron DAO Reserve to help offset, the DPEG, we will see over time, will this help sustain everything that's happening, the market conditions, people shorting TRX to help DPEG USDD. We're going to see what happens. And so I just want to share with you my thoughts on what was going on. I got more content, of course, coming for you, and I will see you guys on the next one.